These are the moments that turn the chosen one into the king. Here are 10 times LeBron James did the unthinkable. Playoff debut. The basketball world revolved around this game, as they couldn't wait to see what the league's next superstar would do in his playoff debut. While LeBron was only in his third season at the time, expectations were sky high for this performance, as James came into the 2006 playoffs leading a team who hadn't been to the postseason in 7 years. LeBron didn't disappoint, going off for 32 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists, while leading the Cavs to victory. He became just the third player ever to record a triple-double in their playoff debut. On top of that, LeBron at 21 became the youngest player with a triple-double in a playoff game with 30-plus points. Game 5 of the ECF. The 2007 Eastern Conference Finals provided James with a chance to make history, but doing so would not be easy, facing the Pistons, who had in each of the previous 4 seasons made the finals or conference finals. LeBron was looking to send the Cavs to their first finals in franchise history. With the series tied up at 2-2 and the Cavs up 1 with 6:05 left in the game, it was time for James to take over. As the game went into double overtime, LeBron in just 16 minutes scored 29 of Cleveland's 30 points, including the team's final 25. It was also an insanely efficient 29 points for James, who went 11 for 13 from the field over that period. Detroit was paying no attention to the rest of the Cavs down the stretch, and it still didn't matter. With 2 seconds left in double OT, LeBron, while being surrounded by 4 Pistons defenders, glided through the air for a layup and the win. Pistons point guard Chauncey Billups said, "We threw everything we had at him, we just couldn't stop him." Air LeBron. For a play that happened in the first quarter of a regular season game to still be talked about a decade later speaks volumes about how crazy it was. In a 2012 game against the Bulls, LeBron etched John Lucas's name into the NBA highlight reel history books, but Lucas was not happy about it. As Dwayne Wade caught the ball on the perimeter, Mario Chalmers set a back screen for LeBron. Lucas was originally guarding Chalmers, but decided at the last second to stick with James, who was headed towards the hoop after the screen. While that happened, D-Wade anticipated exactly when LeBron would get to the rim and threw the perfect alley-oop. James climbed through the sky for the catch and slam, with total disregard for anything or anyone in his way, including Lucas. Because of how effortless the play somehow seemed for LeBron, it's almost easy to miss the fact that without even so much as a push-off, LeBron cleared Lucas's head for the jam. That isn't supposed to happen to NBA players, let alone in an actual game. Although all dunks are worth the same number of points on the scoreboard, this one was all-time in terms of style points. Game 6 of the ECF. In Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, to say the pressure was on LeBron would be doing zero justice to how badly he needed to win. He was 1 loss away from ending his 2nd consecutive season as a member of the Big Three without winning a ring. The blowback and criticism James would receive for this happening after his infamous not 1, not 2, not 3 speech would be a nightmare for the king. But in front of a rowdy Boston home crowd, with the haters ready to dance on his grave, LeBron showed up and put on one of the most impressive performances of his entire career, popping off for 45 points on 19 of 26 shooting while grabbing 15 rebounds. James was a man on a mission out there, leading his team against another Big Three in one of the most hostile NBA environments to a season-saving win. It was a not-so-friendly reminder from LeBron about how doubt can power him to all-time performances. 2016 Finals. As the Warriors took a 3-1 lead in the 2016 Finals, all hope seemed lost for LeBron, the Cavs, and the city of Cleveland. No team had ever come back from a 3-1 Finals deficit in the history of the league. The Warriors had just set an NBA record for most regular season wins, and it wasn't like Cleveland was known for its sports luck. However, at this point in his career, people knew better than to doubt King James's ability to pull off the improbable, but this one seemed impossible. It would take video game-like performances from LeBron for the Cavs to even have a chance, and that's exactly what happened. Over the next 2 games, LeBron exploded for 41 points both times, while adding in a combined 24 rebounds, 18 assists, 7 steals, and 6 blocks. In Game 7, with everything on the line, LeBron put on a masterclass by recording a triple-double with 27 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks, in the process of leading his team to the win. James became just the 3rd player ever to have a triple-double in Game 7 of the Finals, and the 1st player to lead both teams in all 5 statistical categories for the series. While every NBA title obviously means a lot, this one was extra special. In addition to doing something no other team has ever done in coming back from a 3-1 Finals deficit, it was Cleveland's first. It was the culmination of a prophecy that began 13 years earlier when the Cavs drafted a kid from Akron who promised to one day end that drought. Well, LeBron did it. The block. Blocked by James. 3 words that led to history being made. 3 words that any basketball fan can immediately picture. 3 words from an announcer's call that will forever be a part of NBA folklore. LeBron leading his Cavs to that epic 3-1 comeback probably doesn't happen without this play. With under 2 minutes to play in Game 7 with the score tied, the Warriors had a 2-on-1 fast break with only J.R. Smith standing in their way. At almost any level of basketball, the situation ends in at least 2 points for the offense. The only issue is that it doesn't account for LeBron James. Just as Iggy thought he had an easy layup to take a lead.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James! LeBron James with the rejection.
The Warriors didn't score a single point after this, forgetting the importance given to the situation. The block itself was also insane. The distance LeBron covered while timing it perfectly made it a special play that perfectly encapsulates LeBron's otherworldly athleticism and relentless drive to bring his hometown a title. Cleveland, this was for you. 3 in DC. When a team trails by 3 points with 3 seconds to go and 0 timeouts with the ball on their own baseline, the game is all but about over. But it's not over until the fat lady sings. In a 2017 game against the Wizards, the Cavs found themselves in this exact situation. The team didn't panic, as they knew that anything is possible with King James. With the precision of a Pro Bowl quarterback, Kevin Love threw a two-handed chest pass nearly the length of the court to LeBron. LeBron caught the Hail Mary just inside the three-point line, with his back to the basket and a defender right on his hip. Then, all in one move, LeBron took a dribble outside the three-point line, rotated his body, and headed it into his shooting motion, still without fully looking at the hoop. Rising up over the outstretched arms of a Wizards defender, LeBron calmly banked in a fadeaway three from the wing just before the buzzer sounded. It was impressive for him to even get the three-pointer off in the way he did, and then to actually hit the game-tying shot in that way is just absurd. The play left the Wizards, their fans, and anyone else watching speechless. 2018 playoffs. With his team entering the 2018 postseason as the 4th seed, it was clear that LeBron would need to carry his Cavs squad more than ever to keep his 7-year final streak alive. It was the lowest playoff seed that his team had had in a decade. Round 1 against the Pacers went 7 games, as LeBron in Game 5 hit a game-winning buzzer beater immediately after blocking Victor Oladipo at the rim. In Game 7, James went off for 45 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Round 2 against the Raptors was less dramatic, as the Cavs swept Toronto, aside from another LeBron buzzer beater. The Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics was a slugfest, as LeBron willed his team back to the finals following epic performances in Games 6 and 7. While the Cavs ran out of gas and were swept in the finals by the star-studded Warriors, no blame fell on LeBron, who during the series averaged 34 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 10 assists per game. Over the course of those playoffs, James averaged 34 points, 9.1 rebounds, 9 assists, 1.4 steals, and 1 block while hitting over 50% of his shots. In the process, LeBron racked up 7 40-point games, 1 50-point game, 4 triple-doubles, and 15 double-doubles. Most players will go their entire playoff careers without totaling those achievements, and yet James somehow did it all in one postseason. LeBronto era. For 3 straight seasons from 2016 to 2018, the city of Toronto had their basketball hopes and dreams crushed by a single man. During that stretch, the Raptors ran into the Cavs in each postseason, and on all 3 occasions, LeBron sent the team up north packing. Not only did the Cavs win each series, but they did so in dominant fashion, winning 12 out of the 14 games against Toronto. There was nothing the Raptors could do to stop LeBron, who took over every time they met. James in those playoff matchups averaged 31.1 points, 8.4 rebounds, 7.6 assists in under 40 minutes per game, while making nearly 60% of his shots. While it's not uncommon for players to have favorable matchups against certain teams, usually those teams adjust the following year. However, it became crystal clear that King James ruled Toronto, and there was nothing they could do about it. During Game 2 of their 2018 series, ESPN play-by-play announcer Mark Jones dubbed the city LeBronto in the middle of LeBron's 43-point masterclass. It's also not like these were bad Toronto teams. In 2016, the Raptors were the 2nd seed, 3rd in 2017, and 1st in 2018. The Raptors making it to the finals in 2019 for the first time in franchise history was directly related to LeBron leaving the Eastern Conference for the first time in his career. Their boogeyman was finally gone. Battle with Father Time. While the famous saying is Father Time is undefeated, that may not always be the case. At the age of 37 and playing in his 19th season, LeBron still managed to put up MVP-like numbers. He finished this year averaging 30.3 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 6.2 assists while shooting above 50% from the field. 37-year-olds are not supposed to average that over the course of an entire NBA season, and yet James made it look effortless. Nothing like that in the sport has ever been done before. For reference, here are the top points per game averages for other all-time greats in their 19th seasons, with a minimum of 55 games played. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 14. Carmelo Anthony, 13. John Stockton, 10. Tim Duncan, 8. Vince Carter, 8. And Jason Kidd, 6. Had the Lakers won more games this season, and people weren't so accustomed to LeBron shattering history and expectations, he would have been included in more MVP discussions. The fact LeBron's dominance at his age isn't talked about more speaks volumes about his sustained greatness over these 19 years.